Hello and welcome back to my garden. This is day 4 or 5, I have no idea, of the Blitz. It all just seems to be going by so quickly. Of me trying to accomplish a lot this fall and bring you guys along for the ride here in my garden. And this right here, well, maybe you could see it, but in here is a fig tree. I have mowed the grass down inside of it a couple of times this year. And, well, of course, it just keeps growing. The fence is here to keep the deer away from the fig tree. The first year I had it, they were nibbling and breaking branches, and I think they were just going for the fruit. I don't think they like the leaves. But if you know different, or if you've had experience with fig trees and deers, leave those comments below. I'm always asking you guys to leave comments. It helps the YouTube algorithm, and it also helps inform me because I'm a novice gardener. I don't know that much. So my plan today is to try to cut as much of this back. I'm going to do essentially a chop and drop, and then I'm going to do a few other things here to help this fig tree for the upcoming year. And if this goes as quickly and as smoothly as I hope, then way back there I have an apple tree which is buried in grass and weeds and verbena and other things, and maybe we'll get to that one too. There we go. I haven't used one of these in a long time. So as you can see, all around the fig tree now has been chopped down. I'm actually going to leave all the grass cuttings to rot down. That's part of the plan. I've done that several times already. And when I was doing the hand cutting around the trunk with my scissors here, I noticed there's a couple of new shoots or branches pushing up from the base, which is really awesome. Don't ask me what kind of fig tree this is. I have no idea. It was one of the first fruit trees my wife wanted, other than the pawpaws. And if you haven't seen that video, you can go way back to 2021 and watch that video. But the fig tree has been doing pretty well for the last few years. In fact, this year has been its most bountiful so far as figs. And in fact, there's a bunch of figs on the tree now. I just don't think they're going to be ready by the freeze. So we'll have to wait and see. Nonetheless, I'm going to take a couple more steps here with this tree that I've never done before. And the first one is, I'm going to spread a little fresh horse manure. This is well composted, doesn't have a smell anymore, so it's all rotted down. And I'm not going to put it directly against the tree in case some of you are worried about that. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to spread it around the perimeter. And this way, hopefully one day when it starts to rain again, we haven't had rain all of October, but once it starts to rain again, it'll obviously wash into the ground. It'll provide nutrients and all that other good stuff. And you know, the plant hopefully should be happier. And then I'm going to take an additional step, which I'll show you in a second. There we go. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put cardboard around the base. Now again, I'm not going to go up against the tree. I don't want to harm the tree in any way, but what I do want to do is suppress any new grass and or weeds from pushing up. So I'm just going to lay a thin layer of cardboard down. In fact, you may have seen this is my corrugated cardboard. So I'm just going to lay a thin layer of it around, and then I'm going to put a layer of mulch on top of it. And that's basically just to hold the cardboard in place. Once we start getting rain, which we normally do in the winter time, we get quite a bit of rain, this cardboard will break down fairly quickly. It'll be gone by springtime, I guarantee it. And the grass will probably start growing right up through it once again. But if I can just suppress it for the next few months, life will be good. And then it'll also allow anything that's, all those clippings, all that grass that I cut down now, that'll also rot down underneath the cardboard here, which will also be good. So let me shut up and put down the cardboard and mulch. Cleaned up, chopped down. I can actually see the tree now. I learned that there's new shoots pushing up from the base. None of the cardboard is really touching the trunk, which is great. None of the mulch is. If we get a heavy enough rain, maybe it'll push it down. But what I suspect is going to happen, because I've been living here now 4 years, going into 5 years, is again over the winter we'll get those heavy rains. The cardboard will absolutely rot down by the springtime. This mulch will, grass and weeds will start growing up through it. It's not a very thick layer. And even if I had a 12-inch thick layer of mulch down, I guarantee you weeds and grass would grow up through it. It's just the way it is down here. It's just the way we roll. In my chopping, this verbena here seems to have survived, which I'm okay with. Adds a little decorative touch, and who knows, maybe verbena seeds will spread out through this whole thing, and there'll be a lot of verbena popping up all around here, helping to hide the fence and adding just a little bit of beauty to this spot. So, let me close up this fence. Let's go check out the apple tree. Alrighty, in this mess, I have my red Jonathan, or Jonathan Red apple tree. For the new viewers out there, I got it as a bare root from Arbor Day Foundation. It's probably about yay big. Today it's this big, and it would have been bigger had the deer not tried to munch on it, or did munch on it, the first couple of years. So I built this fence around it, and it's worked out well. It's kept the deer off of it. In fact, starting last year, what happened was I had some compost, which I knew wasn't well rotted, but I figured it would rot in place or finish rotting in place. And I had spread it all around this tree to add some nutrients to the soil around the tree. So then what had happened was, because that compost wasn't fully rotted down, I had a lot of verbena seeds, foxglove, and this year apparently agastache I see growing in the middle here. They're all wonderful, and they all put on gave it a very meadowy-like appearance, which was wonderful, absolutely wonderful, and I love it. Spider, very big spider. Woohoo! Let's see if I can get a close-up of that guy. That right there, that blurry thing right there, that's about as good as I can get the camera to go, is a garden spider, yellow garden spider. Non-venomous, but terrifying nonetheless. So what I want to do today is just chop some of this down. I want to get it a little more under control, maybe get out some of the grass that's growing on the other side, and just tidy this whole thing up. Most of the verbena is done, it's gone to seed. Some of it is still flowering, but even if I chop it back today, we're still not looking at a freeze for at least, what do we say, the 16th, 17th, probably another month maybe, unless it comes early, but generally about another month. So the verbena may start regrowing and reflowering, which all the butterflies and bees will absolutely love. Should have seen this thing earlier in the spring. They were all over this area, which was wonderful. I'm not going to do the cardboard and the mulch because I don't want to really suppress anything. I want new verbena to pop up. I want new foxglove and agastache and anything else, you know, flowering wise to grow back up in here. So I'm just going to sort of chop and drop, just see if we can tidy this up, and you can see the tree again. So let me get to work. Okay, so there it is, all done, job done. It does look like a disaster. It is pretty much a disaster. But doing the chop and drop, hopefully all this stuff will rot down by springtime. I'm sure it will. A lot of the verbena seed, it will spread just by the virtue of me cutting down and dropping all the verbena. So hopefully next year there'll be even more verbena in this space. I was stomping on a couple of foxgloves. Let me see if I can get you a close up here. So there's a foxglove, and I think, yeah, next to it is an agastache. That's been now butchered. I think over here is another foxglove underneath the debris and whatnot. And there's probably other plants somewhere else in there. but I feel pretty confident that all this will break down, rot down. I did put down the composted horse manure all around the perimeter, so nothing against the tree itself. Again, hopefully once we start getting rains, it all washes into the soil. All this breaks down, adds to the soil, provides nutrients for the tree. And the other good thing about me doing this today was I saw quite a few branches which are crisscrossing and touching one another. Nothing really diseased, dead, or dying that I see, which is good, but I do see some of the smaller branches crisscrossing. So I will have to come back in December, January when the tree goes dormant and just do a little prune. Just a couple of things here and there, trim them up, make them look better. And I think this tree is just gonna be even better next year. I think it's gonna be that much taller. It's gonna be that much better. Hopefully it'll be that much healthier. And I think, or I'm hopeful, I'm hopeful that, again, the verbena all pops back up. Foxgloves maybe in here. They come up. They were beautiful in the springtime. If you haven't seen those videos, go back in time. Look up my springtime videos. There were some beautiful flowers. If you don't follow me on Instagram, give it a follow on Instagram because I often post pictures there that I may not show here on YouTube. Things like maybe just a close-up of the foxgloves in here flowering amongst all the verbena. It was really something, a sight to behold. And I did not plant a thing. Didn't do a thing. I just dropped some compost. I knew it didn't get hot enough. I knew it didn't fully break down, but I spread it all around here. And lo and behold, all that seed in there just started coming up. I was lucky that it was mostly flowers and not so many weeds. So if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Click that bell icon to be notified when I do post up a new video. And this way you can see what happens this upcoming spring. Because anything could happen. It could be a total disaster. The tree could die. I don't know. Who knows? But you gotta follow along to see what does happen. I think that's gonna wrap it up for today. I hope you guys are enjoying my daily videos that I'm doing for the next 30 days. And with that, I'm going to catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.